Hello everyone, you're welcome. This is Kingsley from KingspetDesigns. If you're just joining me for the first time, please, I want to beg you to please hit on the subscribe button and turn on notification bell to get notified each time I upload new video. Please, a quick reminder, sooner or later I will be changing the name of this channel from KingspetDesigns to Blessed Tutorials. Please just don't panic in case you see these changes. It's the same person, same channel. So without wasting much of our time, let's go to the business of today. Alright, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create a hamburger menu. You can see I have this okay, actually this is my website, so I'm going to be, in case you want to visit this website, I will be dropping the link to this website in the description box below. You can see, or you can just enter this address, bless.com.ng. that's the address to this particular website. There's a feature actually added in this particular website, although it's not really a strange something feature, but yeah, I believe it's something most people don't actually know how to implement, and I feel like I should come out and actually record this video to show you guys how to actually create this particular feature. So now you can see I have in my menu here, you can see I only have the logo and there's no menu items over here. Don't find, I actually have my menu item here, but you have to click on this. When you click on this, you can see the menu items actually pops up. That is actually how I wanted my to look like, and I was like, many people don't actually know how to create this particular, to create something like this on it. Even if it was on mobile, if you click, it's going to still come up the way it is. So it makes my website look very beautiful and it kind of, so I just want to show you how guys, you can be able to create your own menu to look like something like this for them. So now, without waste of time, let's just go into the tutorials. Now, to be able to create this feature, what you'll be needing is just, we are going to be using 3 steps. So now what you'll be needing, you are going to be designing your own. You can actually download your own hamburger icon you want to use. Actually, I created myself. I actually created this myself. You can see I created it with CorelDRAW, so you can see how my own, you can see the several ones I actually use. Then, so you can actually get yours the way you want it. You can mirror it the way you want it and use it. You can actually download it online. But in case you need this particular one I'm using, I'm going to also be dropping the link to where you can actually download it yourself. So you can see I have it here. This is the one I'm actually going to be using. So I'm going to be dropping the link in case you need it to this tutorial sake, to actually follow up with this tutorial. I'm going to drop the link so that you'll be able to try it on your own. So now I'm going to have, once I said this one, what we need, this just one, then now we're also going to be needing we'll be making use of Elementor plugin. So if you go to my web today, now this is where I'm going to be creating. You can see, if you come to the website, I have my Elementor installed and I also have my Elementor Pro installed. So now, in case for you to be able to follow up with this tutorial effectively, you will be needing Elementor Pro for this. So in case you don't have Elementor Pro and you actually want to buy one, you can just follow. I'll be dropping the link where you can be actually download your own Elementor Pro from. So I'll be dropping the link in the description box below. Please, you can help me, just use the link and to buy yours. They won't charge you, they are not going to charge you any, you won't be incur any extra charges on your purchase. Once you buy with that particular link, the company will actually give me a little commission for introducing you to this particular plugin. So that's just it. You are not going to incur any additional charges. So now I'm going to go straight after this. Once you have your Elementor Pro, you have your hamburger menu. Now what you'll be doing is to create your menus and link them up to this. That's just it. So now, without wasting much of our time, let's just go straight to the tutorial where I'm going to be showing you how to do this. So first of all, what I'll be doing, I'm going to be importing my image to my WordPress site. So I'm going to import that particular image to my, I can see I clicked on media, add new, it brought this place out for me. So I'll just come over here and drag this particular image over to the side. You can see the hamburger is actually adding, so just wait for it to, once it's done, you can see it has actually added. The image has been added already. So now the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to go to pages. So once I go to pages, I'm going to, you can see once I click on all pages, it's going to show you all the whole pages I have currently on my website. You can see this is a blank new website. You can see if I should open the page on a new page, you can see it's going to be it's actually a very blank website. There's nothing on it yet, so it's still trying to open. You can see it's just a blank website, there's nothing on it yet. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to delete all these ones. I'm going to create maybe a little sample links. I'm just going to create like 3 to 4 links, so on my own right now. So I'm going to click on add new. Click on add new. Let me say I'm going to name this, let me see, so publish it. Once you've done that, you just publish. Then I'm going to, once I've published the menu, the page, I'm going to add another new one. Let me say I'm naming this blog. Then I'm adding another one. I'm going to name it contact. So I have contact. So now once I'm done, can come to all pages. Then when I come to all pages, you're going to see all the pages have been created already. So now if I should come to my website now, you can see I don't have menu here. If I should refresh my website right now, you're going to see that, let's see what we're having. You can see it has finished refreshing. This is still what we are having. So now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to head over to this. I'm going to add this particular pages to my menu. So I'm going to come to appearance, I'm going to come to menus. So once I come to here, I'm going to click on it. So this is just the first thing you are going to do. You have to create all your menus down. Then I'm going to come to, there's no menu yet, so I have to create one. So I'm going to come here and let me say main menu, create. I've created my menu. Now I've created my menu, main menu, but there's no item on it. So I'm going to come to view or most recent. Let me just, I'm going to add this and this, add them to menu. Now yeah, then I can just rearrange them, about, home, about, contacts, and let's say blog before contact. Let me say this is how I want it to be. Then I'm going to add it to primary menu. I'm going to add this to on the location. I'm going to add to primary menu and save it. Once I save this, it's going, if I should refresh my website, you are going to see that. You can see if I should refresh my website, you are going to see my menu on my website. Now you can see my menu is actually on my website. So now, but I actually don't want my menu to display on my website the way it is like this. I actually don't want my menu to be displayed on my website like this. So how am I going to solve this problem? So the easiest thing we are going to do this is by creating. Now I'm going to go to my, I'll show you how to do that. First of all, I'm going to come to where I have my Elementor template. I'm going to come to template. I'm going to click on add new. I'm opening it on a new page. Check this. So you can see this is how it is. So now what I'm going to do is to create my, I'm going to create a pop-up. I'm going to first of all create a pop-up with it. I'm going to create a pop-up. Then once I create this pop-up, I'm going to name it. Let me say I want to name it let me say main, let me say menu. let me just leave it like that. So you can name it anything you want to name it. I just want to name it this like this so that I'll be able to remember what I used to name it. So I'm going to click on create new. Actually, remember all my tutorials on this channel most of the time are actually tutorials you can actually work on locally. I'm actually using local by Flywheel right now to run my tutorials, so it looks as if I'm actually online but I'm not really online, so I'm actually working offline. So once I do that, I click on this. If you were having internet connection, it's going to load out template of pop-ups for you, but I'm actually not online, so those templates I'm not going to open online except I connect my system to the internet. Then all those, it will now load those templates for me, but I want to actually create my own templates on my own. You can see this is what I told you. If you are online, you will see all these templates displayed for you already, so for you to choose from. But I'm not going to be using any of that. I'm just going to go straight and close this up. I'm going to close this. So now this is what I'm going to be making use of. So first of all, I'm going to come to where I have this. I'm going to come here and click on this settings icon. Once you've closed that, you come to this settings icon. Now I'm going to, on this, with the width of this, I'm going to reduce it. I don't want it to be that wide, so I don't know, this, I don't want it to be that wide. And something else, I want it to be aligned to the left. Now let's see, I think so. Now that's, you can see it's actually coming up. What I'm doing next is actually coming up. So now let me say I want to make it just to be 315. Let me just make it 315. Let me leave it like this, 315. Then fit, I might decide to give it a minimum height, but I want it to be fit to, okay, let me make it, if I do it, I'll make it stretch to screen. You can see from, let me go back to that one. You can see on this, when I do, it actually covers the whole screen. So I'm going to do the same thing to this particular one. You can see I'm going to make it stretch to screen, fit to screen. You can see it fit to the whole screen. So now this is, you can see the view, my website design is actually coming up. Now you can decide to give it, you can see now I'm having, by the time I click on it, it's going to be having this dark shade. You can still change that. You can decide to change the animation. How do you want it to come in when they click on that, but on the pop-up? Do you want it to fade from left? I want it to say fade from right. You can decide how you want it to go. Fade from right, it should come from right. Okay, let me see how this one comes. You can see it goes towards the right, comes towards the left. So now I'm going to do the same thing. Yeah, it fades from left, it comes towards the left hand side and goes towards the right hand side. So you are going to just ensure you do all those settings. On general, you can leave this preview. Now I'm going to now come to where I have my style. Come to style, you're going to, on the background, you're going to select a background color for it. I might decide to pick, now I'm going to just use a different background for what I'm having. Okay, let me just see, I'm going to do something close to what I'm having before. So I'm just going to selecting any color. I'm actually not going to repeat the same thing. I'm just going to pick any color to show you how it's going to be. So let me say this is what I'm going to be using, and let me just add this. Let me just add it to a global color. Now this is what I'm going to be using. Then now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be, another thing I forgot, actually I would have imported a logo. So I'm going to import a logo later on so that you will see how everything looks like. Now on this background shade, actually you can see on this one, the background shade is more or less almost the color of this website. So now I'm going to also try to make the background shade to be something related to this. So now I'm going to pop up overlay, the overlay. Now the overlay color, I wanted to pick this but now it's going to be the light shade of this. So now I'm going to make it transparent, so you can see, so that it's going to still be transparent. Then now on the close button, you can see on the close button we have here is white, so I'm going to make this one too to also be white, so that you can be able to see it. Now should it be outside, or should it be outside, or should it be inside? I want it to be inside. So now I'm going to, on the color of the close button, I want it to be white. I don't, on this, was there any background? There's no background color on it, so I'm going to leave it like that, white color. So that is how it is. So now you can see I've been able to create this background shade and everything, how it is going to look like. This is where I'm going to, you can see I did all that from here. So now after I'm done with that, I'm going to come over to this particular side. I'm going to click on here and now come to where I have my menus. I'm going to now bring my nav menu. So I'm going to search my nav menu. I'm going to bring my navigation menu here. So once I bring my nav menu, that's the first thing I'm bringing in. You can see it is like this, but I don't want my navigation menu to be like this. I want it to be vertical, so I'm going to make it vertical. You can see it is now vertical, like what we have on that particular site. So now I'm just going to now go ahead and breakpoint. It shouldn't break, all of them should be the same thing, so there's no breakpoint on any part of it. So now I'm going to now align. I want it to be aligned to this. I think this also was aligned to the center, so it should be aligned to the center. Just play along with. Now let me bring in, okay, let me use, instead of logo, I'm going to use picture. You can actually use a logo, but I'm going to be making use of picture and just link it to the main website. So now this is what I'm having. I'm going to just bring in, let me look for a logo. Okay, let me say I'm using this. I'm going to be using, making use of this logo, even though it does. So let me, I think, bring the white shade. Okay, let me bring also the white shade, because of what we have. So now this is the white shade of it, and this is the normal shade of it. So now if I should bring this is the white shade, is going to appear on this particular side very well, just as we have it on this one. So that is how you, so now I'm going to now, on this now, let me say, okay, you are going to now, you have to link it to the website, or to this particular website. So I'm going to click on this custom URL. So what you are going to just do, because you want it to be linked to the home page, you are just going to add, do backslash on it. That is all. Once you do backslash on it, once they click on this logo, it's going to link that person to the main home page of the site. So I'm going to leave it as backslash. Then I'm going to now come over here and reduce, and it's because it's too big, I'm going to reduce the logo a little. And you can see there are spacing on top, there's a spacing on top, and so I'm going to also watch all those spacing. So I'm going to click on this particular side, click on it, then I'm going to now add some padding. I'm going to add some padding top. I'm going to add, let me say 50 padding top. Then you can see by the time I close, this is how it is. You can see then my menu. Then let me see how this one goes. Then okay, my menu flows through, you can see flows through them. So I'm going to now go ahead, do something. When you, it's actually on this one, it is aligned, so the underline is going to us, but it's going to be framed. Okay, this is framed. Okay, background. Okay, this is background. This is what I actually use there. So on this one now, for it to come out, I'm going to use something like whitish white or something like that. So now let me now go head over to to style this, so I can now give it my typography. I can give it any color I want to, any text type I want to give it. So let me say for this particular tutorial, I want to be making use of my menu to be poppins. I want to use poppins for my menu. Then I want to, my menu should be, let me see, 20, no, 20 is too big. Let me say something like 16 font size 16. I think this will be okay. Then let me say the thickness, I don't want it to be too thick, so 500 should be okay. Then now another thing I'm going to be doing is to close this. Now come to where I have this particular on hover. You can see on hover it is this, but okay, let me first for on active, it shouldn't have any background color, and on active I mean on normal the text color should be white. I want the text color to be white. I'm just trying to play with it, so you can actually make use of whatever you want to make use of. So on the background pointer, on the pointer color, I want to make it a light shade of this. You can see how everything is coming out now. So let me just save this, add it to my, so this is how it is, light shade of this, and I think the white on this is still okay. So now on the active, I can still make it on the pointer, it should be this light shade, so that when anyone that is active is going to still remain here. So now I'm going to now head over to where I have, okay, now color, yeah, okay. Now on the padding, horizontal padding, we have horizontal padding and vertical padding. Now I'm going to make it the vertical padding, I'm going to, that's the spacing in between them, I want to increase them a little to give them little space. Let me say 15 should be okay, so that it won't be too close to each other. You can see how what we have here, so they don't have to be too close to each other. So you can see what we are having here. So now I'm going to, now the next thing I'm going to do now is to head over to, I think one more thing here I added, okay, was our social media icon. We have our social media icons and then maybe a call to action button here. So now I'm going to now come over to, sorry, it looks as if it's getting longer, then I'm trying to be fast. So now let's say social media icon. So I'm going to social icon, add my social icon, then these are the three of them. Then I'm going to just make it, now I'm not going to on this, okay, let me start from this. I'm going to make it a custom color on this one. So now the primary color should be, let me see, should be this. Let me see how this is. Okay, it was, now the primary color should be this, then the secondary color should be this. You can see how it is. So now I'm going to now remove this and copy this out. Let me see, copy again, then I'll change this from Facebook, I'm going to change this to something like YouTube. Let me say YouTube, and YouTube, then let me say this third one, I'm going to change it to Twitter. So let me just say these are the three social icons we are actually using. Or let me add one more. Let me say I'm having WhatsApp, then maybe I'll be linking it to WhatsApp there. So this, let's say this is what we are having on this side. Then I'm going to, instead of circle, I'm going to make rounded, I'm going to make it circle. So now I'm going to, now the columns, okay, it should be one column. Now I'm going to come to my, I'm going to reduce the size of it. So now I'm going to reduce the size of it to something much more better. I think this is much more better for year 15. Then I can decide to add padding to it, but I think I like it the way it is. So now on hover, how do you want it to be? Let's see how it is first. The spacing, I can decide to increase the spacing. Let me say 10 is okay. Then on hover, icon hover, then should it shrink or should it grow? You can see now it actually grows, so I'm going to leave it the way it is now. So now I think the next thing remaining is the button. So I'm going to add my button to this side. I'm going to add my button, then I'm going to, let me say this is, I'm going to add a button. Let me say this button is need a solution. Okay, let me say This is what I have, need a solution. Okay, let me say this is what I have, there, need a solution. Then maybe link it. This is where you enter the link. Maybe you want this to be linked to somewhere, you enter the link here. But for now, I'm going to just leave it like this. Then my button should be aligned to the left. Then I think, yeah, the button was actually okay, rounded without this. Now I'm going to now come to, after that I'll come to where I have here. I'm going to now come to my border solid. So now I'm going to add a line. Let me see, 3 should be okay. So now 3, and that's white. The background color should be let me make it transparent. The background color should be transparent. Then now coming to the hover, when you hover over it, what should it be? The background color should be white. The background color should be white. Sorry, border color should be white, or border color, let me make it border color transparent. The border color should be transparent and the background color should be white. You can see how it is. But now on the text color, I'm going to make the text color this, so it comes out. You can now see how everything is. So now this is how you can just play along with your websites the way you want it. Now first, this is what we've succeeded in doing. We've succeeded in creating this particular pop-up, the menu, how we want it to actually look like. This is what, if this is actually what you want, so you can actually customize yours the way you want it. But me, this is how I want mine to be on my website. So now what, I'm not going to click on publish. I'm going to click here and I'm going to click on save. I'm going to click on publish. You can see it shows here. Once I click on that publish, it's going to, you can see I click on publish, it's going to pop up. But I'm not going to add any condition to it. I'm not going to add any condition to it. I'm just going to click on save and close. So it's actually going to save this particular, you can see it's actually saving. Just wait, it's going to save. You can see it has been, it's already saved. So now I'm going to come over to here now and create my header menu. You can see, if I, even though I still refresh this particular website, you can see that those particular, what I created is not yet displaying. So I'm going to now come here. I'm going to now come to here. I'm going to template again. I'm going to click on add new. So now for this to do, we are actually creating two templates, the hamburger pop-up, the pop-up template, and also we are going to be creating the main menu template. So now I'm going to now come to header. I'm going to create my header. I'm going to, let me say main header main. Then let me just create the template. Once I click on create template, it's also going to do the same thing. Remember, if you are connected to the internet, it's going to load all those templates for you. But if you're not connected to the internet, it's just going to give you the normal one. It's going to load out like that. So now once this is out, I'm going to close this. I don't need that. So this is what I just need. So now what I'm going to be doing to this now is to come here. I'm going to be adding I'm going to add here, I'm going to add 2 columns. You can see I have 2 columns. One will be for my menu, one will be for my logo, and the other for my menu. I'm not really showing you this top. I'm not bothered about this top. Just what I want to show you is just this pop-up and how to link them up. So now I'm going to come here. I'm going to now, what I'm going to do is to, on this, I'm going to make it full width. Let me just make it full width, then stretch. Then I can now add, I want to give it a white background. I'll give it a white background. Then I'm going to come here and add, I'm not going to add, if you add a site icon, you can actually make use of your site icon, but I don't want to start adding my site icon, so I'm going to make use of my logo. I'm going to make use of image, then link it to be my menu. So I'm going to, remember, on the link I want it to be my menu, so I'm just going to add backslash. So this is what I'm going to add. So it's going, once I do this, it's going to link to the home page. So now what I'm going to do, I'm now going to click on this, reduce the size of this image. I'm going to make the image to be aligned to the left, so you can see what we have, but I don't want it to be too close to the wall, so I'm going to do something. I'm going on this particular one, I'm going to add, let me change it from full width, I'm going to make it box, then maybe I'm going to make it 1100 for my box. So now you can see how it is. So now you can or can make it 1150, depending on your choice. Actually what I used for the previous website, for this particular website, it was 1100, so you can decide to use anything. So I'm going to leave it like this. So now I'm going to, on this particular one, this is where we are going to apply some little trick to this. So I'm going to bring in still an image. I'm bringing in an image. Then now on this image is going to be this, my hamburger. So I'm going to bring it here and reduce the size of the hamburger to what I want it to be. I want to reduce it to, let me see, something like 10. Let me see how 10 goes. Size 10, is it okay? It's too big, still too big. So I'm going to reduce it again to something like 6. Let's see how 6 goes. I think I'll make it 7. I think 7 is okay. So now I'm going to come to my image and make this to flow to the right. You can see flows to the right. This is how it is. So now, but I don't like the way, I'm going to click on this side and make this place align to vertical. Then on this other one too, I'm going to click on it and make it align to middle, so that it becomes at the middle. So you can see this is how it is. So now I'm actually done with this the way it is. So now if I should save this particular, if I should publish, let me publish, add condition and make it entire, should display on entire site. When I click on save, now let me refresh my website. Let's see what happens to this particular design. So now you can see when I refresh my website, you are going to see that this particular, all of this menu is going to go off. You can see this is what I'm having. Actually, it's not really looking, this is not what I did. Let me see, this is how it's supposed to be. When I, let me see on this is how it's supposed to be. Let me see. Okay, let me come over here and let me do something now on my settings. Let me come to settings, let me say settings, and then come to reading. I'm going to click on reading, then static, it should be my home page. Let me say I want my home page to be my static page, then my blog page to be my post. This blog should be my post page. Then I'm going to click on save. Now let me try, let me see something. So now let me refresh and see. Okay, still the same. Let me see. I can see even if I click on this, it's not actually coming up. Let me see what is wrong with it, because I believe everything is actually okay the way it's supposed to be. Let me see, add new color. Let me see what is wrong. Okay, let me do something now. Let me click on this and set the height, minimum height. Let me set to give it a minimum height of, let's say 90, or let me say 80. Minimum height of 80. Let me see. Then let me refresh here. Still giving me the same thing. Okay, just have to, okay, what I'm going to do now, because sometimes all this is actually works with, let me try and see, let me change it, my theme. You can see, let me change my theme and see how everything is going to look like. I can change. Okay, I'm actually working offline. I have so many, you can see I have so many to the website already running. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the root file. I'm going to copy a theme. I'm going to copy a theme from, and just copy it to this particular website folder. So but if you are actually working offline, I mean online with me, you can just select a different theme and make use of it. So but I'm going to be doing it, I just want to be fast, so I'm going to select a different theme. Let me see, I'm going to be making use of actually looking for a, a better theme to use. So let me see. Okay, let me see this, how it goes. This, so I'm going to copy Astra. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy it. Then I'll now head over to this one and paste the link. What I copied, theme, I'm going to paste it in this folder. It's pasting. So now if you can see, if I should check on my appearance themes, you will see, notice that the themes I'll be having right now is just the old theme. You can see just this, actually it's because it's copying already, that's why you can see this Astra is also here. Actually it was 1, 2, 3, these are the 3 themes here. I'm actually waiting for it to finish copying so that I will activate this theme, and now we can now check our website to see how the website looks like. So let's just give it a little time. Okay, it's done. So let me just refresh it so that everything will. Okay, now I'm going to activate this particular theme. Let me activate the theme so that you see how it looks like. Okay, the theme has been activated. Now let me refresh my website, and so that we'll see how it looks like. You can see actually the theme I was actually making use of was actually what was giving me difficulty. Yeah, if not, my what I did was actually okay. So now I'm going to just increase the size of this a little, and maybe this, that of this a little. So I'm going to come here and let me make the 45 and make this one, let me make this 10 and update and see. So now when I refresh this website, you can see is, I think it's going to be better now. Okay, now I think the size now is better. So now what if you can see, if I should click on it, it's not performing anything. So the last part I'm going to be doing is to link this particular hamburger menu here, to link this to something else. So now I'm going to come to where I have on this particular image, I'm going to come to link, but on this link I'm going to make link custom. I'm going to make it custom link. Once I click on custom, I'm going to come to dynamic tag, then I'm going to scroll down, I will see pop-up, then I'm going to click on pop-up. Then once I click on pop-up, you just click here. Now you select the pop-up you want. Now remember, I created a pop-up with the name hand menu, so I'm going to select this. So now once I do that, I save. That is just what I needed to do. So now I'm going to, from here, let's just wait for it to finish saving. So you can see by the time it's finished saving, if I should refresh my website, you're going to see that our tutorial has been completed. So let's just say wait for it so that you see how it actually looks like. So it has finished updating. So I'm going to go to my website, I'm going to refresh it again. So by the time I refresh this website, refreshing, okay, you can see it has finished refreshing. So now once I click on this, you can see it takes effect. All what I did has taken effect. So by it, I can either click here for it to remove it. Let's see, I think it's coming from, I don't like, it's coming from the left. I want it to change. I want it to come from the left hand side. So I'm going to come over to this side again. I'm going to come over to this side and click on this setting gear. Remember, it was from this setting gear. So now I want it entrance animation. It should fade in from left. I think it's so. It's fading from okay, fading from right. Then let me save and close. Let me save and close and see. Then waiting for it to refresh to save. Then I'm going to refresh this particular page. So now you can see it came from the right hand side and it goes through the right hand side. You can see this particular tutorial I've succeeded in making it complete, is actually completed. So now if I should go to my blog page, let me click on my blog page, it will actually navigate to my blog page. It does all what I actually set it to be, actually brought me to my blog page. Then now remember I told you if you click on as I inserted backstroke, if I should click on this, it should supposed to take me to the home page. So if I should click on this, it should take me to the home page. So it acts the same way so you can see I've been able to accomplish what we actually wanted to do. How showed you how to create your own custom menu, your own hamburger menu, so you can use this and in your website to actually increase the functionality, the beauty of your website, and some other. You can actually add this feature to so many other things you will be doing. So I believe you might have learned from this particular tutorial. In case you have any difficulty in any part of this tutorial, you can actually leave drop in the comment box below. I'm going to try my best to see how to answer you. And if in case you enjoyed this video and you have not yet liked the video, please ensure you click on the like button to encourage me, and also ensure you hit on the subscribe button if in case you've not yet subscribed to my channel. Until next time, this is where I'm going to stop. Bye for now.
Careful.